What's going on, guys? So what you just saw in the intro of this video was the Zildjian K-Custom 22-inch high definition ride. Now I just got this baby last week, and I actually got it because our church where I serve at currently, most of the cymbals are cracking, and I wanted to start building my own arsenal again. For a lot of you who don't know this, because this is mainly a real estate channel, a lot of you guys don't realize that I used to be a full-time drummer. So I had all this gear, and then when I got sick and I decided to change things up a little bit, I actually sold all my gear because we had to move into an apartment with a little space, so I sold all my gear. And now I'm feeling like I'm ready to build my arsenal back up of drum gear. So this was the very first cymbal, and I thought that the ride cymbal that we use at the church is a 24-inch, but I was confirmed that it's 22-inch. And so I went ahead and bought this 22-inch K-Custom high definition ride because it's been on my list for a while. I got to church on Sunday, and it was actually, I was right, it was a 24-inch ride. So I didn't want to mess with that and the sound of the church. So I actually ended up using this K-Custom high definition ride as a crash cymbal to my left. Okay, because the two crashes that are up there right now are 22, so it fit perfectly. Now, let's talk about this K-Custom real quick, this high definition ride. The cool thing about me being able to move it to the crash is that it was actually redesigned back in 2008 by Terry Lynn Carrington. Okay, and what he actually wanted was this ride to be redesigned to have crashability. And so I was like, you know what? I want to see if this actually gives me a feel of crashability while riding the cymbal. Okay, and believe it or not, it actually served as a nice crash. It is a little thick, it's a medium thin cymbal, so I usually like my crash cymbals to be a slightly little bit thinner than what this is actually designed for, because it's it's originally designed for a ride, right? So it is a little bit thicker. But with that being said, it does act as a good crash. Now, this thing is thinner than the original high definition ride before Carrington got a hold of it in 2008. I can imagine that back in the 2007 era with, or before that with this cymbal, it probably would have not served as a good crash at all. And that was the reason why they wanted to move it to a crashability. Now, it does have great feel. It's not too bouncy. You do get to lay into the ride. However, it does give you enough to play some good jazz as well. So it really serves a good purpose of playing worship, rock, and jazz, which is something that I wanted in a ride, okay? So, and I was actually really astounded by the crashability of it. Like I said, this is a 22-inch ride, and it is part of the K-Custom family, which I love. So on a scale of 0 to 10, or actually let's make it 1 to 10, I'm gonna give you guys different judgments on what I think about some of the attributes of what we look into in all cymbals, okay? So again, I wanted something that wasn't too bright and pingy, and so I would give this one actually a 5 out of 10. It has enough like brightness and volume, but it also has enough darkness as well. Okay, so that's where it kind of comes into that jazz sound. Okay, so I would give it a 50-50 on the brightness versus darkness of the sound. Now, let's talk about dryness. The thing about this ride, guys, just FYI, if you do not like dry cymbals, do not get the cymbal. I give this cymbal a 9 out of 10 for dryness. Okay, it is super dry, and you can feel that dryness whenever you hit it and whenever you crash it. Which brings me to the sustain. A lot of bright cymbals have a longer sustain. It's just something that kind of comes into play with brightness. And a lot of the darker cymbals come with shortness sustain. So I give the sustain out of this ride a 4, meaning that a 10 would be a long sustain, a 1 would be like done, like right when you hit it. I give this a 4. Okay, it doesn't really have that much sustain, but it does give you enough to have a good full sound. And then, of course, by the nature of this this ride, the high definition ride, I would say whenever you are playing on it from a jazz perspective, it's not pingy, it does have the dryness, but the definition is there. You can hear every single stroke that you're playing on this ride. So if you're looking something that you can play in a rock setting, a worship setting, and or a jazz setting. You don't want brightness, but you don't want too dark, but you don't want a lot of sustain, but a little bit of sustain, but you really want some dryness. This ride's for you. I was able to pick this cymbal up at Forks Drum Closet, in Nashville, Tennessee. They really helped me out with that. So if you're ever in that area in Nashville, go check out that drum shop. And it's a great one. If you're a drummer, you'll be in heaven. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me with this ride. Again, this is the K-Custom 22-inch high definition ride, and it is a stunner. You guys have a good day. See you later.